starting with page 106, we've got pronouns as objects of prepositions. All that means is when you've got a preposition, and here are 6 that you need to make sure you know: a, con, de, en, para, and por. Make sure you know what they all mean. A means to or at. En means at or in or on. Con means with. Para means for. Por also means for. De means of or from. Those are prepositions. After those words, when you have to say me, you, him, her, them, and all that kind of thing, you can't use the word yo and you can't use the word tu. They have special words for me and you, although the rest of the words are the same as the pronouns you've already learned. So if you look at the chart on page 106, you see that the word for me, when it's used after a preposition, after the word para, for example, it's mi with an accent. So to say for me, you don't say para yo. It doesn't make any sense in Spanish. They would know what you meant, but they would laugh at you, at least in their head. You want to say para mí, para mí. And by the same token, to say for you, talking to a friend of yours, you don't say para tú. Can't do that, because tú is a subject pronoun. It's used with verbs to tell who's doing the verb. Ti is an object, is a pronoun that's an object of a preposition. It's being used after a preposition. What are the prepositions? Quick test: a, con, de, en, para, por. The ones that you need to worry about right here. Okay, so from me, you would say de mi. From you, de ti. To me, a mí. To you, a ti. But notice the other words are just like the subject pronouns you've learned already. Usted, él, ella, and so on. So to say for me, you have to say para mí. Can't use yo. But to say for her, you can use para ella. To say for them, para ellos. That's okay. Those are fine. Just keep in mind me and ti. Those are the 2 new words here. And one little problem is when you use the word con, you don't want to say con mi. For some reason they came out with the phrase conmigo. Easier to say, I don't know, it slides better. Maybe they just sounded better when they said it and it came out. So conmigo is with me, and contigo is with you. Those are the phrases there that you want to use. So knowing all this stuff, looking down at the bottom of the page under the practica, the first one, number 1, should be like this. I'll read them right through with the answer in there. Check yourselves, do them first, and check your answers with me, and then see if you agree, and if not, ask your teacher for explanation. Número 1. ¿Carlos habla conmigo? No, no habla contigo, habla con ella. Number 2 says, ¿Para quién son los libros, Paco? Who are the books for, Paco? ¿Para él o para ella? For him or for her. And he says, son para mí. They're for me. And the person asks, para ti? For you? And he says, sí, señor. And number 3 says, el vino es para ustedes? For you all. You plural. That's what the PL means there. No, es para ellas. No, it's for them, not for you all. Now on page 107, you've got habla con tu compañero. I'll just give you the phrases here. They say, you would ask each other these questions. Number 1 says, ¿Hablas con tus amigos en la clase? Do you speak with your friends in class? You could say, sí, hablo con mis amigos. Hablo con ellos, to use your prepositions with your pronouns. No hablo con ellos, whatever you want to do, as long as you get the prepositions and the pronouns in there. Número 2, ¿deseas estudiar español conmigo? Do you wish to study Spanish with me? Sí, deseo estudiar español. I desire to study Spanish. Deseo estudiar español contigo, with you. 3. ¿Trabajas para tus padres? Do you work for your parents? Sí, trabajo para mis padres, or I work for them. Sí, trabajo para ellos, or no, I don't work for them. No trabajo para ellos. 4. ¿Vives cerca de tus abuelos? Do you live near your abuelos? Notice the use of de there. De is a preposition, so we got to think about, if we're going to say, yes, I live near them, what word do we use? Look over on the chart. Ellos. Both because male, female, so you want to use ellos. Sí, vivo cerca de ellos. Número 5. ¿Hablas mucho con tus amigos por teléfono? Do you speak a lot with your friends on the phone? And still ellos. It's like all the same thing here. Sí, hablo mucho con ellos. And número 6. ¿Tus amigos vienen a la universidad contigo? Do your friends come to the university with you? Now you could say, yes, they come with me. How do you say they come? Ellos vienen. And that's right there in the question too, because you're talking about them in both cases, the answer and the question. Ellos vienen conmigo. They come with me. Underneath that, you've got contractions. Part number 2 here. There are only 2 contractions in Spanish. 2 that you've got to worry about, and that's it. There's no more. At least not in correct grammar. The word a and the word el as an article. When you say a, el, and you're saying to the a and the el slide together as al. This doesn't happen with a la, because there's no slide, there's nothing to slide with a and the l. But when you get a, e, l, the a and the l, ael, 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 when you say it fast enough, they slide together. So they decided at some point in the past, let's just put them together and make them one word. Same thing with the words de and el. If you're saying from the something, from the theater, for example, from the movie theater, you want to say, I'm coming from the movie theater. Vengo, I'm coming, de el cine. I'm coming from the theater, from the movie theater. They don't want to say it that way because de and el, de ends with the letter E, el begins with the letter E, so they slide right together very nicely. Del. And for that phrase, then you would say, vengo del cine. If I ask you, hey, where are you coming from? ¿De dónde vienes? And you say, vengo del cine. That's the correct way to do it. So you don't want to split those 2 apart when you have the possibility. But you won't slide any other combinations together. Those 2 combinations are the only 2. Knowing that, the exercise on the bottom of page 107, one says, ¿De dónde vienes? ¿Del aeropuerto? No, vengo de la discoteca. So hopefully you've done this ahead of time. Now you're checking your answers with me. Número 2. ¿A qué hora llamas a las chicas? A las 2. 3. ¿Los mapas son del señor Vegas? ¿Señor Vega? No, son de la señorita Ruiz. 4. ¿Tienes que ir al apartamento de Julia? No, tengo que ir a la biblioteca. 5. ¿A dónde llevas a los chicos? A la clase del señor Peña. Notice the green box. Oh, we missed both green boxes. 106 has a green box. Hoy por ti, mañana por mí. Today for you, tomorrow for me. One hand washes the other. You scratch your back, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's that phrase in Spanish. Hoy por ti, mañana por mí. And the green box on the bottom of 107, al pan, pan, y al vino, vino. In English, we say, call a spade, call it what it is. Talk whatever you're going to talk about, say it what it is. Don't beat around the bush. Don't call it something that it's not. In Spanish, literally, al pan, pan. In other words, if it's bread, call it bread. Al vino, vino. If it's wine, call it wine.